All right. So skill number 2 is finding the constant of proportionality by graphing. So this is a very important skill, and I will be going over a few problems to teach you how to do it. So the first thing is, like, again, to get to this link, please click this right below the video. It has literally, it says click the link below to get to your second skill of IXL. You need to click this link, and it shouldn't say this on the top. It should say welcome whoever, to make sure that you are actually logged in. So here it says there's a proportional relationship between the number of oranges Grace squeezes and the amount of juice she makes. Cool. So we already know it's proportional. Now it says, what is the constant of proportionality? Write your answer as a whole number or a decimal. Okay, so here we go. We need to find the constant of proportionality. Now here's what's different about this graph. Usually they give us points, but this time we're not getting points. It's just a line. So how do I find an ordered pair? Now here's the deal. The constant proportionality is always when my x value is 1, right? So you could easily find your constant by looking at the ordered pair that is the smallest. So before we even talk about this, how do I find a point on the line without it giving it to me? So what I want to show you is this right here is a point on the line because it's hitting the corner of the squares. Here is not a point on the line because it's not hitting any of the corners, but this is a point of the line too. So you could really choose, because it's proportional, any point on the line. So this wouldn't be a point, but this would be a point because it's hitting the cross section of the squares or the corner of the squares. So the first thing I need you to do is you need to find an ordered pair on the line. And the ordered pair I'm going to choose is this one right here. Okay, because it's proportional, all of these equal the same value. So I'm going to choose this. So the first thing, I'm going to write number 1, and the ordered pair is going to be 1, 2. 1 is x, 2 is y, and I know this because, again, 1 is on my x-axis, 2 is on my y-axis. Okay, cool. So it says, what's the constant proportionality? Now, let's figure it out. So my constant is k equals y over x. My constant is always y over x. And here, if it's y over x, that means I have 2 over 1. Because 2 is y, 1 is x. And 2 over 1, or 2 divided by 1, if I simplify it, just gives me 2. So for this example, the constant proportionality is 2. Okay, so if you feel like you are good to go, you understand this, again, feel free to stop this video and start practicing. Now, if you feel like you still need a little bit more help, do not worry. We are going to go over this next problem. So here I have number 2. So it says there is a proportional relationship between the number of books on the shelf and how much shelf space the books could take up in inches. Cool. So this is a proportional relationship. That means that my constant proportionality is, my ratios are all the same. So again, the first thing I need to do is find a point on the line. Okay, so the first point I see is 1 over 1. So easy, right? 2 over 2. We have all of these points, but I'm going to choose the smallest one because that's the closest to my constant, or my unit rate. So my point is 1 over 1. That means 1 is x, 1 is y. So here we have k is y over x, which equals 1 over 1, which clearly equals 1. So the constant proportionality here is just 1. And this makes sense, right? Because if I did 2 over 2, that gives me 1. 3 over 3, that gives me 1. So my constant is 1. All right. I want to go over one that might be a difficult. Okay, so again, for this last one, if you want to pause the video, stop the video, you feel like you got this, you could stop and move on. This is only if you feel like you just need to watch someone quickly go over this. So here is, I'm going to try to see if one's a little bit more difficult. But these ones seem pretty easy. Okay, anyways, here we go. So here is a proportional relationship. Now, it says, what's the constant of proportionality? Again, you need to find an ordered pair on the line. And the first one I see, I'm going to start with the closest one on the x-axis, is 2 for x and 12 for y. That's the closest point that I see. So I'm going to write 2, 12. Okay, so that means 2 is x, which is y. And if we want to find our constant, again, we do k equals y over x, which is 12 over 2, because 12 is y, 2 is x, and 12 divided by 2 gives me 6. So you get 6. So guys, okay, this is what happens if you didn't log in. I don't know why I didn't feel like logging in. So that's my bad. But if you have any other questions, feel free to call me. Again, you need a score of 60. This is how you're going to show your work, and let me know if you need any help.